Will they come back? Will my ex come back? When will they come back? These are all questions that I aim to answer today with today's pick a card reading, okay? This is another really popular request, and so I decided to go ahead and do this. Did want to give some names of the people that have requested this. Damon Brunt and also Real Slim Basie. Both have asked me this publicly, and I've gotten some emails privately about this question. Everything you need to know about me or the reading is going to be in the description. The timestamps will be down there. In the description, you will see contact information if you want to suggest a reading. And also information about private reads. Now, a note about private reads, I am going on vacation and I am booked up until the point in which I leave. So if you do order a reading, I won't be able to get that back to you until between November 25th and December 5th. So just keep that in mind. You can still order. It's just going to be a little bit longer wait period than usual, okay? So let's get back to the reading, okay? Pile number 1 is this yellow 1. Pile number 2 is the blue 2. And pile number 3 is the pink 3, okay? And I also have the Tarot Pagan Cats out for clarifiers in case we need to get some clarification on any of these. And again, the question is, will they come back? So this is going to be for people who are in a situation where someone has left and they want to know when they're gonna come back. Now this is meant to be for love readings, but that doesn't mean that it can't apply to other situations. But I'm gonna be reading this as if it's a love situation, okay? So I just wanted to go ahead and get that out. For those of you who have not picked your pile, go ahead and pause the video. For those of you who have, I'm gonna go ahead and start with pile number 1. Alrighty. So, those of you who picked pile number 1, let's go ahead and see. Are they going to come back? Okay, let's see what this says. All right. Well, this is all very, well, it's pretty positive. There's a very strong, like, physical attraction between the two of you. And if the two of you weren't intimate before, it was definitely, like, very obvious that they were tempted to be with you, or they were very tempted by you, and there was some kind of situation where it wasn't appropriate for whatever reason. This also shows, this can show actually that you have gone really far in your career, or it can show that for those of you who are younger, there might be a child involved in the situation. And if there isn't one, then this is an indicator that the person and you might have a child together. And then we've got the Chariot, which it can be both positive and negative. And here's why it's positive. It's positive because it's movement forward, okay? And it's like self-directed movement forward, right? And that's always going to be good in any kind of question about whether or not somebody's going to come back. When you have movement, that's good because you want that person to move. You want that person to change course, assuming that the course is that they're away, right? The problem with the Chariot, though, and in a traditional deck, you'll see a person and they've got the reins of both a black horse and a white horse, right? And in this deck, we've got a cat and we've got a white peacock and a colorful peacock. These represent duality. It represents dual feelings, dual situations. And oftentimes in love readings, it represents the head and the heart. And it's like a struggle to move forward. And because you're trying to hold two things at one time that don't really align very well. That doesn't mean that it can't move forward. It just means that it doesn't align very well. However, this does explain why somebody would be not not present right now. People get really confused when their head and their heart don't align. This could be something like, wow, there's this really intense intellectual excitement when they're around you, and they really get you on the mental level, and on a soul level and on a physical level, but morally, they just can't bring themselves to, let's say, maybe cheat on a spouse, or they can't bring themselves to be with you in some reason. Or it might be that the person has these intense feelings for you, and this intense physical attraction, but something in their mind is telling them to be cautious, or not to do it. It's just basically where in the most simple terms as possible, the head and the heart aren't agreeing. Okay, now it doesn't necessarily have to be the head and the heart. There's other facets of humanity than just the head and the heart. There's also the moral compass. There's also the physical, and all of that good stuff. It's just, when we're looking at the Chariot, we're seeing two opposing forces and them trying to hold on to both of them. And one thing that's kind of interesting about love and relationships is that love doesn't make sense, and so when you find people trying to make it make sense, it's always going to become this kind of struggle with them. And I mean, I suppose it's not always going to be, but it generally brings up a struggle. Okay. So that's where they are. Okay. That's where they are right now. So far it's pretty positive, because it's showing movement forward, and it's also showing, it's showing you, because this card really feels like it's a viewer energy. It feels like you're in a calm place, okay? Or you're going to be in a calm place. Okay, so we also have Purge, Muse, and Soulmate. Okay, well that certainly explains some things, right? I want to just kind of give a disclaimer. Everybody uses different words when they talk about a soul connection, and I don't like to stick to just one word. Not only are there multiple belief systems, but I am also aware there's multiple stories within those belief systems. For example, twin flames, or, anamkaras, for those of you who are familiar with Gaelic terms, that kind of stuff. So I don't like to name it. But what this is telling me is that this is such a strong connection, and the reason why you're wondering if this person's coming back is that there's a soul connection there between the two of you, and soul connections are a lot harder to let go, and they're also a lot harder to walk away from when when there is, like, when something has been severed between the two of you. I've also noticed with soul connections is that it hurts like 10 times worse, okay, when you have an argument or whatever. It's like part of you is being ripped in half. It's just a horrible feeling. The soulmate card coming up just lets me know that not only is there a soul connection, but also this person wants to offer you something, and it's big. Okay, this could be a proposal. This could be pledging their life to you, or it could just be a plea to take them back. But this gives me some really positive feelings about them coming back. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and say it looks really positive that they're going to want to do that. In the meantime, though, you've got the Muse card, which, it shows a painting, and this has a dual meaning. With this particular reading, the meaning of this card is that you're manifesting stuff yourself. Just know that you're the creator of your own universe, and if you want things to happen in your universe and they're not happening, like you've got this person who has gone and they're not coming back, and it's like, what do I do? Focus on the things that you can control and the things that you really are know how to manifest, or focus on an area of your life that you've really succeeded in. For me, it might be my career, because I've had a lot of opportunities to work in a lot of different positions, and I might take the energy that I've used to be successful in my career and reapply it to the area that I'm having trouble with. So there might be an area of your life where you're just really good at it, or maybe it's a skill, like maybe you're a really great musician, or you're really great at playing golf, or you're really good at weaving. It could be anything, and just take that zone you get into and apply it to this and start manifesting it that way. Or you can just focus on yourself and start manifesting the things in your life that you anticipate that you'll need when this person will come back, okay? And then we've got purge. There's something that needs to be gotten rid of in this, and I really feel like this is on their part. I really feel like the cards have been showing a pattern. This is both of you, this is you, and this is them, okay? So I think that there's something that they need to get out of their system, or something that they need to get rid of. And I really think it's this conflict between the head and the heart, or this conflict between two opposing forces inside of them that's just not letting them settle in and just enjoy what they have, okay? And once that's purged, I think that everything will be just fine. Okay, and the overall energy for you guys is love abound. So I think that that is a really powerful card, and it doesn't come up very often, okay? I think I've had it come up like maybe twice in my private readings, okay? Love abounds is a very important card that lets you know that you guys are both open to that positive, loving energy exchange between the two of you. And you both feel something that either is love or could be love for one another. For those of you who just, maybe they went on a couple of dates and then, all of a sudden the person isn't around, okay? So this tells me that there is a heart connection, okay? There's a huge heart connection, and that love is there waiting to grow and waiting to become stronger and stronger. And for a lot of you, it is becoming stronger. So let's go ahead and get a timing. Okay, it says a year from now. I wish that I could say it was sooner. I really do. Let me go ahead and look at this and see if there's anything else that I get. We've got the Capricorn card here with the Devil card coming up. Capricorn is between December, I think it's December 21st to January 20th. I believe it's around those dates. Of course, you can Google it, okay? So that might be another indicator of when this might turn around. Since we have the Chariot. Now, I know that the Gemini card is the Lovers, okay? I'm going to go ahead and say that right now. The Chariot also reminds me of Gemini. So when we're talking about Gemini, we're talking about like late May through early to mid June. Okay, so that would be the Gemini area, and then we've got a year from now. So some of you're gonna have to wait that long. I think that we've got several different time frames. Remember, this is a general reading, and a year from now isn't going to be for all of you. Some of you, it's going to be sooner. It's going to be starting in late December, okay? And some of you, it's going to be more like about a half a year from now, starting in May or June, okay? So that's the time frames that I'm getting, and please understand that this is at the point of time which this video is being recorded. For those of you who aren't watching during the week of November 12th are very close to that date, just know that you've got either about 6 weeks, 6 months, or a year, okay? And gosh, I wish I could be, I wish that it was gonna happen sooner for you guys, because it looks like a really beautiful experience. So, it doesn't look like a bad experience, but it does look like it's going to drag on for some of you guys, okay? And it's absolutely okay to get out of a relationship that's not, going to be there when you need it to be, okay? That's totally fine. Just so you guys know that there is a lot of really, really positive, really special energy involved here. So it's like, if it were me, for me, it would be worth it. But I can't make your decisions for you. All I can do is give you these messages, and hopefully that'll help you, okay? All right. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 2. All right, so we're looking, will they come back? And if so, when? Right, let's look at this. Okay. All right. Okay, I can already say yes. I haven't even looked at these cards yet, and I can already say yes. We've got, positivity in the Wheel of Fortune here. In fact, I'm expecting that the timing is going to be real soon. I'm not expecting that it's going to take much longer, okay? But yeah, they will be back. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got this really impassioned and kind of intuitive, maybe a flair for the dramatic, but definitely a very exotic person. And I really feel like that's you in this situation. It could be them, but this is somebody who's important in this situation, okay? And we've got this kind of energy that feels very... It's very fiery and passionate. It's like, or maybe some of you wouldn't call it that. Maybe some of you would call it intense. Like, it's a really just intense, it's an intense thing. Like yeah, there's a slow burn there, but boy, when the two of you are together, it burns hard, It's like that. And then we've also got, on your partner's side, or on your person's side, we've got, like, there's this feeling like that, like, they might be judged by you, or they might be, they're doing a lot of soul searching, and they really want to make sure that when they come back, when they are around you again, that they're the person that you need for them to be, okay? So I am getting that they're doing a lot of that kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and look at these cards to see how this lines up. Okay, somebody might be settling in this situation. It might actually be you, because it feels more like a viewer energy than it does like a partner energy. It feels a little bit more present here. So know that if this is a situation where this is your ideal, this is where you want to be, but you're with somebody else because you just don't want to be alone, first off, that's human, okay? It's human to want to be around other people, okay? And it's human to want to be taken care of and cherished, and have somebody to have a companion with, that's normal. However, if you're settling in your life because of this situation, that can be an indicator that this situation might not be the most healthy thing for you right now, okay? This is going to take some patience. So yeah, it's gonna take some time. I think you know that, though. I think you're like, oh man, you can't even tell me about patience. I've been patient, I just kind of feel like you guys are like at your wits' end at this point, okay? So I don't want to say, well, it's gonna take patience, and make you guys feel like I'm not aware that a lot of you have already been very, very patient, and at this point you're like, okay, when's it gonna happen already? Because, I don't know what I'm gonna do here. There is a part of your person, the person that you're thinking about, that isn't fully awakened yet. And what's weird about this for me is that it feels like it comes through, like when they're sleepy, when they, if maybe they've had a little to drink, it might come through then, but mostly in dreams. It'll come through sometimes, and they'll just have these really intense dreams about you. But it's like their body might be awakened to you, okay? Their mind, their heart, and all of that kind of stuff. But it's like their soul hasn't fully accepted that this is such a strong connection, okay? All right, so the trust card's coming up, and you know, that can be a scary card to get. And it's funny because I you know, for me, of course, I'm gonna say trust is gonna be a scary card to get because, you know, I'm the one that loves the hermit card. You know, so I have different opinions about the cards than most. But the trust card, the reason why it's hard is that when you're in a situation when you're waiting for something to happen and you've had to have patience and you're not sure what exactly is going on in the physical reality of the situation, like, okay, it's like, okay, you can tell me that this person cares about me and you can tell me that I care about them, but if it's not happening in physical reality, you know, who cares? You know, that kind of thing. And it's like, the trust card is hard because it requires a person to believe in something that they can't touch and they can't see. And oftentimes when we have been waiting for something that we want to touch and see and smell and taste and feel, okay, when we're looking for that concrete reality, we don't want to spend much more time in the abstract because it's almost painful not to. And I'm just saying that because I'm aware that that's what this card is asking of you. Some of you really do believe in the situation. You believe in it so much that the trust card is just a indicator to you that, yeah, okay, I should trust in a situation, and you feel very calm about it. But many of you will see the trust card and just be like, oh my gosh, really? You know, what evidence do I have? Okay, so let's go ahead and see. Well, you're not going to be having to wait long because we get in the near future. Unfortunately, that's not very specific. So let me go ahead and see if I can get an actual date or number for you. And I'm looking for the farthest date from now that we can put it at. Okay, I believe that if you're watching this in the now, so if you're watching it the week of November 12th, the longest you're going to have to wait is around January 20th, okay? For those of you who are watching it and it's not the week of November 12th, the longest you're going to have to wait is about 5 weeks, okay? So my version of the near future isn't days, although for some of you it really might be about a matter of days, okay? My version of the near future is about 5 weeks, 5 to 6 weeks, somewhere around then. That's going to be the very latest you'll have to wait. For some of you, it is right around the corner, okay? So you will hear from them. There will be some contact, and yes, they will come back, okay? You've just got to keep in mind, you know, just be sensitive to the fact that they don't, you know, of course they don't want to be judged. Nobody wants to be judged, but maybe they've done something that they need to answer to. They're willing to answer to that, and they will be able to do that, but they also need you to be receptive to it. Just know that they're not as aware of the importance of this relationship as you are. That's the best way I can put it. Are the significance of this relationship as you are. And because of that, it might be kind of frustrating when you're dealing with them. But I do feel that they will end up getting there. And the Wheel of Fortune is really fortuitous in this particular spread because it's showing you're going to be on an upswing here, okay? You are going to be having some really great luck. And I really feel like it's going to be for a while, okay? So this is positive, okay? They're going to be coming back very soon, okay? Just a little bit more patience and a little bit more trust, guys, okay? Alrighty, those of you who picked pile number 3, hi. We're going to go ahead and look at your situation a little bit and see what's going on. Okay, we've got the 5 of Swords, we've got the 10 of Wands, and we've got the 7 of Wands. Okay, so there is definitely a theme going on here. what's going on with your person is that they're holding on to something and they need to let that go in order to move forward with you, okay? And whenever this has been brought up with them, they're going to be getting really defensive about it, okay? This card's been coming up a lot in my in my my YouTube content readings, and so I have a feeling that there's some of you guys who are here that deal with that kind of defensiveness kind of often. And what I can tell you about the defensiveness is people get defensive when they think they're being criticized, or when they think that another person thinks that they've done something wrong, okay? Yes, there's many other reasons why people get defensive, but those are going to be the main ones, okay? One way that you can kind of help that defensiveness kind of come down is to make sure that you're letting them know when they're doing the right things, that you like that. Because that way they'll feel like they are capable of being good, that you don't see them as all bad, right? Because if they're only hearing, well, you need to do this and you need to do that, and why haven't you this, they don't have anything to fall back on, like, well, but I make funny jokes and they really appreciated that I fixed the dishwasher. I'm just pretending, or they really appreciated that I carried that thing for them, or whatever it is, okay? They really appreciate that I went and got them flowers, or, whatever it is that they've done. Just make sure that you're telling them when they do something that you like. Now, I understand we're asking about a situation where they're not even there, so I get that. Okay, I'm just giving you some examples of what you can do when they do come back. Hoping that that's what the rest of the cards are going to say, because what I am getting is that they really do want to let go. If it was just the Five of Swords and let's say maybe the Four of Coins, that would be more along the lines of, no, I'm not giving it up. I'm not giving it up. But you've got the Ten of Wands. This in this picture, of course, it's a cat. It's the Tarot of Pagan Cats. But in this picture, like in a traditional deck, it's a person with a heavy burden and they just want to put it down. That's it. They're at the end of carrying this and they just want to put it down. They want to be light and they just don't want to deal with it anymore. Okay? And this is referring to whatever it is that's preventing them from going forward with you. Okay? This is not you. This is something that's preventing them from moving forward with you. And once they put that down, then they'll be able to come back to you just fine. So let's go ahead and see if this tells a coherent story, though, because, so far I'm getting, okay, so there's some blocks, there's some things going on, but let's go ahead and see what the other cards have to have. Okay, balancing the scales, I really feel like that has to do with this. I feel like they can't give you an appropriate amount of attention until they put this down, until they're able to let go of this thing. I mean, it could be another relationship, or it could be maybe they're a workaholic, maybe they're going through some kind of court process. I mean, it could be just about anything, but it's just something that's very tedious, something that they don't want in their life, or something that they just want to be over, okay? And once they have that over, then they'll be able to be right there for you, okay? We've got self-worth. I really feel like this is on both of your ends, okay? I feel like for them, they feel bad when they have this stuff going on. And I know that's overly simplistic, but that's the truth of it. Sometimes the truth is just that simple. They feel bad because this is going on. They feel bad because they can't be there for you right now, and they can't be that person that you need. And that is going to make them feel very defensive. In fact, their feelings of guilt for not being around you might also be a block from getting back with you. But once they put this down, they're going to feel so light that they'll be able to come right back, okay? And family, okay? So this is going to be tied to family issues in some way. For some of you, this means that the two of you might have children together. For some of you, this might mean that they need to leave their spouse, or maybe you need to leave your spouse in order for this to work. For some of you, this can actually mean that you guys are going to be coming together and being a family, okay? But the family tie is there, okay? So this is some other dynamics that are going on, and this really just clarifies this even more. In general, they're trying to control the situation. They're not letting you do this for them. This is a thing that for them, and it's important for them, no matter how stupid it is or how silly it is from your perspective, this particular issue that they have to take care of, they need to take care of it. That's what they feel. That's what they believe. They need to take care of it. They don't need any help. They just want to do it themselves. And in the end, it's actually going to be more meaningful for you if they take care of it, okay? One thing that goes on with that, though, looking at the situation, is if you are like, no, that's not how partnership should work, that's not my vision of what a relationship should be, then get out of there, okay? Because that's what they're going to do. They're going to be the one taking care of it. They're not going to take a whole lot of input from you. The input from you is just that you exist and they want to be with you, okay? That's all they need. But so you would find that as much as you ask them or talk to them about it or give them suggestions or bother them or pester them or whatever word you want to use, they're going to be the one that wants to do this. That can be very frustrating, okay? And I get that. And if it was me, I'd probably walk away. At least I'd walk away for a little while. I might go back because it might hurt to be away. But for me, I'm one of those people that I need to be able to make those decisions kind of like together. There are a few decisions that really needs to be made by the other person. But in general, I need to make decisions that are big, together with somebody. But I'm thinking, if this was about my partner wanting to leave me, for example, I would want to make sure that he is completely 100% sure about that, and I would give him as much space as possible to come to that conclusion, right? And that's just the way that I work, because I don't feel like it would be fair not to, okay? So I'm kind of seeing there are some situations where I can see how that would be the way that it has to work, but at the same time, when you've got somebody taking care of a really big issue by themselves, that can be frustrating for some people. Okay, some people just aren't wired for that. Okay, so when are they coming back? Within the next few weeks. So look at that. You're not going to be having to wait much longer at all. So those of you who are watching now, I'd put this around December, okay? Within the next few weeks. That could be within the next week, okay? That could be that quickly. So this is gonna be able to turn around pretty quick. So will they come back? Yes. When will they come back? Just a few weeks, okay, guys? And those of you who aren't watching during the week of November 12th, they'll come back within the next few weeks of the time that you are watching this, because these readings are timeless. If you were drawn to this reading, then this is something that you need to know, okay? So you guys, there's some issues going on here, right? But you've got a little bit of information on how to deal with this this defensiveness. You know that they've got something that they need to let go of, and you know that things are going to be balanced. There's a really strong tie between the two of you, okay? So this control, it's not going to last that much longer. And it's just in this one issue. I'm not getting, oh, here's a control freak. I'm not getting that at all from this person at all. I'm just getting that this issue is that important to them. So keep that in mind. Within the next few weeks is pretty good. So I kind of want to take back what I said when I said maybe I wouldn't wait. I probably would if I got the idea that they would be back within the next few weeks. I'd probably wait at least a few weeks. Yeah. So just kind of keep that in mind, okay, guys? Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of my video. I really appreciate all the feedback that I get, and I just want to let you know that I'm just really excited that I'm able to reach so many people with my videos. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments, or you can email me. Again, my contact information is in the description. And if there's anything that you'd like for me to include on my channel, like a pick a card suggestion, or if you'd like to get a reading from me or anything like that, go ahead and leave a comment or send me an email. Okay, guys? Thank you.